Hi there. You can test your mics. I don't know. Just test your microphones.
Getting me?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Am I clear?
Good. And we are live. Welcome to our today's live stream. This is Kazungu Duncan. We hope that you're doing fine. We are going to speak about elections. And so we believe that we are going just to share our views. And then if you have any view, we will ask you to drop us a comment and maybe let us know what you feel about all this. So basically what we'll be talking about is the elections, and therefore, please, if you have any view, make sure that you drop us a comment. We shall be following close with the Citizen TV and NTV for them to update us. And I don't know, I think the video does not show well. Maybe if you can go and correct for me. I want to be seen, or I just move this way so that, yes, just check so that I'm well. Okay, we don't want to have somebody, yes, I think that's fine. Bado kidogo. Hapo. So, okay, so you'll, sorry for that, we are just us, we don't have somebody who is looking for us, but I think that will be fine. Maybe if I'll move even closer, that will do me just fine. So first of all, I would like us to introduce ourselves. You tell us who you are, and then from there we shall be discussing this. So please, I'll start from my friend here.
Hello guys, I'm Fabish. I'm Walker. Welcome to the live stream.
Okay, you next.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Harrison Makale. Yeah, stay tuned.
Okay, next.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Neville Shtahwa. We welcome you on this live stream. Thank you.
All right. So welcome so very much. So first of all, I would like us just to tell what is your general view about this year's election. I believe in some way there is a difference between our elections today and the ones that we've had in the past. So it is an open discussion. If you are able to give us your view about this year's election, maybe different from the other years, that will do us fine. So I don't know who is able to go first. If you've seen any difference, what you like, what you don't like about this election, maybe you can let us know. Where do we start? Can start from you? Maybe you can give us what you think is different.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, this election has been very different from the previous elections. If you compare maybe with the last election, the previous election that was carried, compared to this election, we've seen peace actually prevailing. There is calmness actually even now as tallying is going on through the RMS, and everyone is waiting eagerly to see or to have the final results. But now the turnout has been very low compared to other years, of which in campaigns we've seen people, we've seen big crowds actually following the politicians during the campaigns. And during the voting now, there's now been the difference. Out of 100% of the registered voters, you get like 56% voter turnout, and then people are just sitting back at home. So we don't know what actually is going on and in people's minds, I don't know what they're thinking about the present or the current elections, because most of them didn't turn out. But according to my view, I will say that most of them are undecided. They don't know where to go. So they feel like I better stay instead of just going to vote for someone that I'm not sure he will give me what I want. So that is what actually is facing us right now. And being undecided, that indecisiveness is what is causing, it is what has really caused low turnout in this very general election.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Neville. Yeah, we've had low turnout, and maybe we'll be discussing some of the factors that have led to this later in the live stream. And so I would like to give a chance to our next person, maybe. Harrison, can you tell us something, as I want to correct something.
It's okay. Thank you for that. For me, I think this election is different from the other elections. If you look at the way that tallying is going on, and the votes, the way they're coming in, I think it's reasonable. Like if you see, it's fair election, that is. Then the IBC has developed a portal where you can view the results of all the constituencies and the wards that are coming. So you can do yourself the tallying. And I think the elections are fair. Just looking about the turnout, it was a bit lower compared to the previous elections. We had about 22 million registered voters, about 14 or 15 million people turning out to go and vote. That's alarming, or yeah, it's not normal. But I think we have some various reasons that caused maybe some of them not to turn out to go and vote. Yeah, but for me, the elections are fair. I can say that. From what I'm seeing, the numbers rising, the strongholds of the main competitors, the main aspirants, the way votes are coming in, it's just what you expected. Yeah, but if you look at something like somewhere like the Mount Kenya, where most of us expected that Raila will have more of the votes, it's not that way. It's the other way around. So I think the information given by the info track at some point doesn't make sense. Yeah, but the elections is free and fair. Yeah. Kenyans are deciding in the correct way. Okay. And in their own way, not led by anyone else. Yeah.
So they are not convinced in any way.
Yeah, they're not convinced.
Okay, that is fine. Our friend here wants to tell us something. Fabish, what is your view about all that?
Yeah, my view about this election is that the way on just in the way the
Touch your mic here. I think it has a problem. Okay.
Since the morning the voting started, you can see the calmness in people. People just went in their polling stations, voted, and some went home. Others waited for their leaders for the votes to be counted so that they can know who their leader is. But I've not seen any case of rupture or conflict. The election is fair. Even I witnessed some counting, and the counting was really fair. Even where there was confusion, there was little confusion, you could see the officials putting the votes back, then they count again. Yeah, what really frustrated me is where some of the Kims failed to work. Then we embarked on the manual register to vote. That's what frustrated me in this election, but it was well. We really did good. Let's see the tallying. But I like to disagree with my friend here, where he's saying that Mount Kenya, it was for Raila, no. I think Mount Kenya has done well. Is really doing good, not following the direction of the president. They are coming out voting from their choice,
Use your microphone.
not how they are being directed.
Okay.
Yeah, the election is good. It's even the tallies are coming in good. It is fair. Let's hope the leader of the people will be chosen well.
Okay. So it should be noted that not all of us are supporting one team. Some of us are supporting other people, and so we might have differences. But the main reason why we are making this is that, irrespective of where you are, we need to have peace, because we need a leader at the end of the day. Whoever will be chosen, let him lead. And whoever will lose, let him accept. So yes, we are from different, political parties, but then we are discussing all this to make peace. For me, I feel there has been a difference in these elections. And what I like about these elections is that whom you are expecting to succeed does not. So it doesn't really mean that that person who seems to be well informed and is in the rightful party to some point will win this election. So we find that people whom we thought may not make it are making it, and so we've had also people we've had even the members of National Assembly who've been there for years, and Kenyans have decided to change their leaders. Even when we speak of here, we are live from Kakamega and at a place called Shinyalu. Shinyalu is a sub-county, one of the sub-counties in Kakamega County. And we've had our member of National Assembly. We've had those who've been there for so long. But people have decided that we are changing this. We are putting somebody who is new, somebody who has no experience about this politics. And we shall be discussing later on do you think that experience in this field of politics mean something? That one will come to it. But then there's been a difference. People whom we've been expecting that they are going to lead, we've found that we have people who are new, who are coming in. We also, just like Harrison said, there are some strongholds for Azimio and some strongholds for Kenya Kwanza. And you find that people who are maybe who are affiliated to Kenya Kwanza are leading in a place that we think it is Azimio. And I think this is good because we are having diversity. People are now reasoning on their own. They are not depending on somebody who is going to tell them do this and do that. By the way, we really were expecting that Mount Kenya will give a lot to Azimio. But then we find that even in the home county of Martha Karua, Uda won there, and we wonder what happened. But then I think it is because of that knowledge and that diversity. It has helped us a lot. Anyway, we've talked of the voter turnout, and we've realized that most of the youth have not really turned out. First of all, let us discuss, what do you think is the main reason to why we've had a low turnout? Maybe I can open that to us, whoever feels to answer that. Why, or what do you think is the main reason to why we've had a low turnout this year?
To begin, I would love to say that the reason as to why we have this low turnout, it is because if you look in the rallies, most of the people in the rallies were youth. And this young man is after money. So if you have that cash, he will come in that rally and chant you and give you that hope that he will vote for you. From there, when the other aspirant comes to campaign, you will see the same young guy in that very rally doing the same thing he did. So the problem that I think most politicians made is actually buying the young people with money. So they were after cash, and you come and give them cash, they campaign for you, they lie to you. And when now it comes to election, when you look at how we registered during the voter registration, most of the young people didn't register. But coming to campaigns, you find millions of young people in those campaigns, giving hope to the leaders. And the leaders are now challenged that this young guy is there for me. So you'll find that that is one of the major things. They didn't register during voter registration exercise. Then they're also being given money. They're also being given money with this guy and this guy. So some of them, you'll find that when I go to vote in this station, this guy has seen me in his campaigns. This guy has seen me in his campaigns too. So how will I do this? How will I vote when I meet this guy there? The voting is a secret, but now they feel like I don't need to go because I'll look like I betrayed one of these guys. So you'll find them relaxing. Then if you look in Mount Kenya, the reason as to why the voter turnout has been low, I would love to say that the Mount Kenya people have decided to go their own way. They're not after being pushed by one person or the other. So you'll find that just a few went out to vote, but the others, so like none of our people is on that seat. They're from other regions. So they had to now sit back and reserve their votes. Though it's not something good because whoever wins will also take care of that region because it's under Kenya. So those are the two main things I think they caused us. Because some people say that our person is not there, I am not going to vote. And now with the young people, they're after money and most of them didn't register.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Mr. Neville. Yep, so yes, we've had youth not registering, and just like you said, most of the youth want to just get some money. Do you have any other view, maybe?
For me, my view is just the same as Neville's. You find that most of the registered voters in this country right now are the youth. You see, in the past 5 years, people were 12 or 13 and now 18.
Yes.
So the major people who are supposed to vote are the youth. But you find out that during the day of voting, they don't turn out. And the elderly people, some of them, they vote, yes, those people vote. But now the youth is now where the problem comes in. You find that youth don't see any need of going to vote. Because even if you look at most of the people who are leading are the elderly. The elderly people are leading. But the youth, they feel like they have no one they can support who is among the youth.
Okay.
So they feel like if I vote this elder person, maybe he doesn't understand me. If you go to many of the offices in this country, you find that most of the people are there, they are the elderly people.
Sure.
Even if you go to accounting offices, people who are there are the elderly people. And you have youth who have graduated, they have no job. So they feel like even if I go to vote and there's no one who will look at my problems, they don't feel like going to vote. So I think that's the main reason why people didn't turn out to vote this time round. Then the other thing is about what Neville has talked about, that thing of tribalism. People feel like there's no one who is there that is from my tribe or from my side who can air my views or something and defend me.
Okay.
So they don't feel like they're going to vote because there's no one from their tribe who is there.
All right.
Yeah.
So we still have tribalism in Kenya.
Yeah, there's tribalism, a lot of tribalism.
All right, all right. Let me hear from Fabish. Why do you think that there have been low turnout?
Yeah, there's low turnout in these elections. My view on that point is most people who are to vote were the youth.
Yes.
And if you look at their age, they are just above 18 or 20s. If you determine that age, you can see they have never voted back.
Sure.
So most youth, this is their first time to vote. They took the issue for granted. You could see very old people on the lines. So I think the youth took the process took it for granted. They didn't knew the heaviness of this matter. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, the thing is that they are doing it for the first time, and maybe they don't know what to do with it. And again, maybe some of them felt like I cannot wake up in the morning, go line up and vote, And then at the end of the day, these people are not taking care of us. And we've seen this online. Youth are saying, like, we've had politicians that we've known since we were born. And it is true. There are politicians I've known since I was born. They have been there. And you see them stand and saying that we are going to make a difference. And you wonder, how are they going to make a difference? Yet they have been there since I was born. And they have been doing these things the same way. And we wonder, if they are doing them the same way again, will there be any difference? And so maybe youth are feeling like they are not being represented. And also they are feeling like we don't have many youth who are carrying themselves into this. And maybe we may be discussing why we think that youth are not being part and parcel of this politics in Kenya. If you go to other countries, maybe Western countries, you find that youth are very, very, very active when it comes to elections, or basically politics. Do we think that Kenyan elections are too expensive for the youth? Or do you think that people, or Kenyan people, have no trust with the youth? But before that, we can see some people are watching. Wherever you're watching from, please make sure that you drop us a comment. Thank you so much, Maxwell. So nice, my brothers. We are really, really grateful that you're watching. Please, if you're watching and you have any view about whatever we are discussing in here, make sure that you drop us a comment. You can let us know why is it that many youth are not participating in politics, and also why many youth have not been able to go and vote. We've given our views, but we don't know what you think. Maybe we've given a few of them, and you have others you can add on. We shall listen to that. Do you think that Kenyan elections are expensive for the youth? I don't know who would be answering that. Or why do you think that many youth are not, running for these political seats?
Let me go first.
Okay.
So for me, I think Kenyan politics is so expensive for youth.
Okay.
But on contrary of that, what you need to build is just the trust with the people. People need to trust you.
Okay.
You have some people campaigning with even donkeys. I've seen that.
Sure.
Yeah, they're campaigning on foot. They don't have vehicles, but people trust them with their votes. Like the last election, we had someone from Meru, a very young guy who campaigned, walking from house to house, asking for people to vote him in, and they voted him in.
Yes.
So the youth feel like Kenyan politics, I can say that it's a bit expensive because people need money. If you don't have something to give them, they won't vote you in.
Sure.
And they're giving money to the person who gives them the highest amount. So, and youth don't have money to give to the people. But now Kenyans need to change their perspective towards the elections and towards the youth. Kenyans need to know that we are not voting youth because of people say that youth wanapenda raha, which is correct. Ni right. Because if you give someone a political position, like a youth, atapiga tu raha, then atakuwa anapita hapo na gari, anapotea muoni. So I think that Kenyans think that giving a youth a position of being in power, leading them, it's just a waste of time because they'll end up going and using their funds in the wrong way, and they'll end up even not doing development.
Okay.
So I think Kenyan politics, one, they're expensive. Two, youth are not trusted with the leadership seats.
Okay, so maybe when they are given those positions, they really don't deliver.
Yeah, they don't deliver at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
We listen from Neville.
Okay, I agree with my brother, but there's something I want to differ with him a little bit. Not every youth is after squandering the property or what belongs to the taxpayer. We have a few that are actually focused and they're born with that mentality to lead. But now when it comes to standing before the crowd, they have nothing to give to the crowds. Or when they make it even to the ballot paper, the problem is that the elderly or the other people who have gone before them, what happened in their age, in their past, in their youth, they feel the same might happen with this young person. So they never trust this guy. They give it to someone they feel that has an experience in politics. And if you look even at the record of that person and what this young person is talking about, there's a big difference. This younger guy maybe has vision that has not been yet implemented. But this person that has experience in politics has the same things that he wants to put in place for the next 5 years. So let's just expound our minds and know that we have some people that are able to lead, they're willing to lead, and they have the heart of the people. And youth actually is that time to come in politics, because if you don't go in politics right now, you wait for you to grow up and maybe reach at the age of 30, 45. You know, those people who had experience in politics, good politics, are now older enough. And when you come to that age, you'll find them maybe they've gone to rest in peace. They're resting in their homes, you can't find them. It's just the time for us to wake up as youth and actually go into this field, find mentoring from good leaders, and then we can make it. But that reasoning that youth will squander, yes, most of them will do that. But now let's look at the background of this person. How has he been? Has he been any leader in any field? How has he been relating with the people? Then we can give them a chance to go and to grow, because everyone is born with a different gift. Maybe someone is just born to bring a different this region. Like in my region, I will say it's not growing. It's not growing anymore. You'll find buildings that were for the great-grandmothers are still even existing in the market. Why? Because those leaders that have been there, seeing those buildings there, they've been used to those buildings, they can make a change. But you find a young person has been born, goes to the city, coming back, he has a difference, he wants to change this place. But now, because people want people with experience in politics, they deny this young guy a chance, and he cannot make that difference.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
just to add on
Yes,
what you said. So that's why I said Kenyans need to build trust with the youth, some of them. Because youth, as he has just said, some youth have some good vision for their people. But what they lack is that support and the trust from the Kenyans. So that's why Kenyans need to change their perspective and give some of the youth their chance to lead. But then the youth should build the trust themselves towards the Kenyans, so that Kenyans can now trust them with their leadership.
Right. Fabi?
Yeah, Kenyan politics is not expensive, on my view.
Okay.
Yeah. On our neighboring ward, there was a young guy who campaigned. He didn't have any money. He was independent candidate. But the way he talked to people believed in him. And
Move your microphone.
They really trusted this boy.
Okay.
I don't think even the boy is above 22. But the boy emerged position 2, being an independent candidate. So what I think, you just need to trust these people, tell them your agendas, how you plan to lead them. Then when these people, these people, most of them don't need money. They just need a good leader. So when they see that potential in you, they will elect you. But what most people think is that the Kenyan election is expensive. You can decide where the election is becoming expensive is where people want to give people money so that they can buy their votes. But if you just have that zeal to lead them and show them that you really need to lead them, then they trust you. I tell you, even you will not use a cent. You'll just find these people loving you, coming and voting you in. Then you lead them. You find yourself elevating yourself in higher seats by just how you work with these people. I think election is not expensive. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much. We have different views when it comes to this. But then when you come to how expensive or inexpensive our Kenyan elections is, I think not elections really, politics. I think it's been from the past. People are used to being given money. So anyone who needs to run for this seat, first of all, they think of how much do I have for me to give to these people. But I want us to agree that as a country, we are growing and things are gradually changing. I want to yearn for a point where people will not really want to be given money for them to vote, but then they want to listen to your manifesto, they want to look at your background, they want to look at what do you bring on the table for them. Because I think that's most important compared to how much I'm going to give you. And that's why maybe at some point, when a youth maybe runs for a position and luckily wins, they want to run away. And in fact, not even only the youth, most of the politicians, they run for the seat and then they go away. I think this, the reason why this is happening is that somebody has used his money. And he feels, I think what I've given them is already enough. I won't do projects, I won't build their roads, I won't build their schools, I won't bring them water, because I've given them already. I've given them already what they wanted. So all I need now is to go and now get back the money. Yeah, to return my money that I used. And that's why many people don't have trust in maybe politicians. And maybe from our place, we've had youth who've been in positions and then they never did anything. They went and lived away from our ward. And so the elderly people think that when you give a youth a position, then they want to go away. And so you'll find them now not giving because, of course, the elderly are the ones who are going to vote because I think they understand the importance of voting compared to the youth. I think we've discussed that. But again, we want to reiterate, maybe to some point, we cannot really say that Kenyan politics are not expensive, or rather we cannot say they are inexpensive, because at some point we feel it is expensive because of the culture and the norms that we've already developed from the past. I think that is fine. Whoever is watching us and you have any view or point about this, please make sure you drop us a comment. Thank you so very much for those of you who have tuned in. This is Kazungu Duncan together with my friends. We are discussing about Kenyan politics, and of course we'll be in a few talking about the presidential votes and all that, and we'll be seeing how this tally is going on, and later on we'll be listening from the chairman of IEBC, who is going to release the results and tell us what is happening. And of course, we are wishing that as we do this, we are going to uphold peace, love, unity, harmony, so that we live as one Kenya. And the message is, let us not bleed for them to lead. This is the message, let us not bleed for them to lead. Thank you so very much for those of you who are watching. And I want us to discuss a little bit about now the issue of course, we've already discussed the place of the youth in politics, and we find that to some point it is tricky and they are not being trusted. I think you mentioned something about experience, and I want us to discuss this. Do we think that in politics you must have some experience and exposure maybe for you to run for these seats? Do you think that experience in terms of politics is really, really of great importance for anyone who is running for these seats, political seats?
Okay. To some, I'll say yes. To some, I'll say no.
Okay.
To those that I'll say yes, that they need experience first, it is for those who have no value of leadership in them. So they have to learn, sit under someone, then learn how to lead people, learn how to actually develop, and to those that I will say no is for those that are just born leaders. Someone sits somewhere, sees you doing something wrong, he wants to correct you in this way, and actually in the right way. Those are the people that just need to be given positions, no matter how young they are, because their brains and their ability to lead is actually of high value compared to someone who has been in politics even for 10 years.
Okay.
You will see that someone is in politics for 10 years, 20 years, but is not making a change in his region or her region, and is someone with experience. But you'll find someone just from a rural place, from a very poor background, coming out, and within 5 years of time, he has changed a place, and you are like, where was this guy?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter about the experience. What matters is, are you a leader? Because some are just greedy of leadership. So being greedy of leadership, then that will not make you become. But those with the zeal to lead need no experience, but just a position and an acceptance of the people to allow him or her to lead.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are 50-50. That's a fine. Harrison, what do you think?
For me, I think a leader is born. A leader is not created or made or done something. If you are born a leader, you will always be a leader. Okay. In our country today, if you go to look for a job, they ask you for experience. If you go to, and if you don't have experience, I don't know why they always ask this question, that do you have experience? And they need to give you that. You have just graduated.
Sure.
They ask you, do you have experience?
They want 10 years
Where will you get
experience.
experience? So they need to give you a job first so that
Yes.
you can gain the experience. But
Sure.
in politics, you don't need experience. If you look someone like Sakaja,
Sure.
Sakaja, he didn't study political science. Yeah, but Sakaja was born a leader.
Sure.
Most of us thought that Igathe would win the notarial seat. But now Sakaja is just born a leader.
Sure.
Leadership, politics does not require any experience.
All right. Fabish?
My view on this point is, I think leadership is just within you.
Sure.
So experience you'll gain when you are on that post. But leadership within you that will make you serve these people to gain experience. So I think exposure and experience on politics isn't the issue. The issue is, are you a leader or are you just greedy for this post so that you can squander people's resources? So me, I think you just need to be a leader within you.
Right.
Then it is good. Experience will come on the way.
Okay. What do you think, our viewer? What do you think? Do you think that experience and exposure is of any importance when it comes to politics? But again, to some point, experience is needed. To some point, it is not. And we've given different cases where experience might not be needed. But again, once you're born a leader, I don't see the reason why you should have experience in this field, provided you can be able to lead people and you can be able to protect the resources of the people. Because what is important here is you are going to protect the resources, and if you're going to squander the resources, if you're going not to take care of them, then we may say that you need a bit of experience in politics. But I guess from what we've discussed, experience is not required. But let's not confuse experience and education. Maybe I should ask this. Do you think that we need politicians who are well educated, or do you think that education is not required in politics? Harrison, we shall start with you.
For me, education is important. But when it comes to politics, it's important, yes. You know, you can't go to the parliament and start speaking your mother tongue. You must be educated. Sure. That's why the law requires you to have a certificate if you want to be a governor, you must have something like a degree so that you can advise people. And when you go to school, you gain that exposure. And even school helps you how to spend. If you're in school, my friend, you'll know how to spend. Well. You won't
Sure.
waste resources and money. So if you become a leader and you've learned, that's an added advantage.
Sure.
But when you're born a leader and you have that zeal to learn, but you can also have a translator or something. If you're a leader and you've not gone to school, you can have someone who can be speaking for you.
So that seems to be tedious.
It's tedious, yes, but if you're a leader, you have that zeal to lead and
Sure.
that anxiety, and you
Sure.
have that people's heart.
Yeah.
You can always lead. Education is not important, but it's an added advantage.
Okay. All right, Fabish.
Me, I think education and politics go hand in hand. But those strong requirements which they put on is what I don't agree with. You know, if you can raise your issue, then people can understand it. And the issue makes sense. Even when you have not gone to school, and you're making sense, I just think they should just say, if you know to read, if you can express your issue and people get the issue well, you can lead people, then you're good to go. But the requirements which they put on, you must have a degree, you must be this, I don't think this is the way to go.
Okay.
We have people here outside who may want those posts. They know how to lead, they know how to drive this nation. But those requirements which they have put on is what is hindering them from running for the posts. So they should lower the requirements.
Okay.
And just say, if you can express your issues well, people to understand you, you can write, yeah, you're good to go.
That's enough. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, let me listen from Neville.
Okay, with me I'll say no one goes to school to become a political leader.
Sure.
That's first of all. People go to school to get employed in different fields. But now it reaches a time when someone now gains interest in politics and decides that I will drop my position in this company and go become a political leader. So this politics with education, I think I will say that politics marry the educated. Because if you're not educated, leading people will sometimes become hard. Because people want to see someone that will actually feel them, then go there and communicate their issue and bring the solution. But if you find someone that is not educated or well educated, he might be a hindrance in development in maybe in some areas. I want to agree with my brother. He said it will help you even learn how to spend when you go to school, of which when someone is not learned and maybe let's say that is not given that brain by God to just know that this is not right, then people will end up starving, crying, and all that. So education is very important. That's what I will say. But no one learns to become, or no one goes to school to become a politician. Politician, maybe sometimes we will say that it's a calling. And maybe with that, I'll just have to say that in Kenya, currently, we have to do away with the politics, but we have to look for leaders. Because this thing that is called politicians, it sometimes doesn't make us grow. You go to school, then you are learned, but then the way you go to talk with the outside, even that your education, is something very different from what you got in class.
Yes.
So politics should marry education. They should go hand in hand. But now our leaders currently, you find someone talking rubbish against this person, and it's someone with a doctorate degree. So you wonder how.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so my viewer, please let us know also what you feel about Okay, guys, we are very sorry for that break. We lost power, but then we are sorry for that. So, my friends, we are back live, and we believe that everything will be now fine. And we believe that you are going to enjoy this. So we were talking of the issue about experience and exposure. Then we tackled the issue of education, and we were wondering if education is of any importance when it comes to these things of politics. And we've realized that to some extent, education is important because it helps us understand how to, share the resources, how to lead, and so many things. And of course, how to express yourself when it comes to you speaking in the parliament or in the assembly. But then to some point, we feel like these qualifications that have been set should be lowered, provided somebody can communicate, somebody can learn how to really utilize these resources and how to spend, then these very qualifications should be brought to some level. Of course, we've agreed to that. And as we mentioned earlier on, that this time's elections is different. People whom you feel are not going to lead, you find that they are in those positions. They have run for the positions, they have won. And some people, like, for example, Akina Sakaja, maybe people thought they are not going to be able to run, maybe because of the education background, and they feel that these people are not enough to lead. People like Cleophas Malala, people saying that, they have not studied. Although we shall be coming to that, we've had suspension of Kakamega gubernatorial seat. So we did not vote for the governor, as well as to Mombasa. They did not vote for governor. I guess also for Pokot South, they did not vote for the member of National Assembly. And we've others, maybe 3 of them who have not voted, 1 for a member of National Assembly and the other 2 for member of County Assembly. And you find that these people, they have suspended the elections, but again, we shall get to that. Still under the issue of experience and exposure, we've had people who've been in other fields, like some of them have been comedians, some of them have been musicians, and they have been able to get the vote. For example, we've had Bahati, mtoto wa Diana, has won the member of National Assembly for Mathare constituency. We've had Jalas, Felix Oduor, who has won the member of National Assembly for Langata. So I don't know. Do you think that these people are going to deliver? Now that Jalango is from comedy, and we've heard Bahati from, music. Do you think these people are going to deliver for the people of Langata and Mathare? Maybe we start with, this time let's start with Fabian.
Yeah. I hope Jalango will deliver.
Okay.
Jalango has some leadership skill in him. I just hope he will go to the parliament and he will give the issues of his people well. But Bahati, I don't think Bahati, from even back in campaigns, you could see how he acted. Bahati is acting like a child. I don't think he will bear the heat of parliament.
Okay.
So, but let's give them a chance. We see how they will drive the manifesto they had planned for their people these 5 years. If they do them well, then it is right to vote them in for another 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We respect your view. Let me hear from Neville.
Okay, thank you. With my view, I think Jalas is in a position to lead. Okay. He's a public figure. He's a comedian, but the way you look at him, the way he is just a a leader.
Okay.
So I believe that he will display what we as the citizens believe in him. To do with Bahati, I'm not very sure if he will deliver, because we also look at the progress of people and the field they are in and what they do.
Okay.
With the Bahati, I'm not very sure because of how he is. His public figure isn't that meant for leadership.
Okay.
Maybe if he has changed his view, or if he has an advisor, then he will make a difference. But if he doesn't have an advisor, then it will be difficult for him to deliver.
Okay. All right. Engineer Harrison, what do you think? Eh? Yeah, Bahati has one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
For me, I feel like the people of Mathare and Langata, they've decided to give Bahati and Jalango the chance to lead.
Yes.
They've seen some leadership qualities in them. They've seen that they're the best over the others. And if they've decided to go with Bahati and Jalango, I think the Bahati and Jalango should deliver to them.
Okay.
For me, I'm sure of Jalango delivering, but Bahati has to try his best and deliver,
Okay.
because he's entrusted with that position. Like the way we see him behaving on social media, something of the sort, I think he will have to minimize on that and focus on the people of Mathare.
Sure.
Then Bahati, yeah, let's hope he'll deliver. He has been given a chance. Let him show that to the people of Mathare, because he was raised in Mathare, so he knows the issues that people of Mathare are facing.
Yes.
So maybe if he keeps his promise and keeps his manifestos, I think he's going to deliver to the people of Mathare.
Okay.
Jalango, that is 100% sure he'll deliver.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, we shall mention that this election is a bit different, and things might happen not as you expect, because maybe some of us were expecting that the people of Mathare are not going to vote in Bahati. Just judging from how he carries himself online, sometimes he's carried away with the emotions, sometimes he's carried away with this lovely wife, and some people are feeling like he's not enough, if I may use that term, he's not enough to lead the people of Mathare. There's a point he was denied that chance to run for that seat by the Jubilee party, and we saw him cry. And some of us were asking then, if he goes to the parliament and there are people who are discussing, and the discussion or the debate becomes hotter, will he be able to withstand that heat? Or will he also go there and start crying when he's being told to shut up or to sit down or to get out? And so these are the things that we've seen from what he shows us. Because once you are a public figure like he is, and then you carry yourself in a way that is questionable, then when you come for that seat, we'll be questioning. We'll have so many questions to ask. But again, as my friends have said, we are giving them a chance. The people of Mathare and the people of Langata has given these two people a chance. Let us see how they are going to carry themselves. We believe that Jalango is going to deliver. At some point, he gets into arguments with people. You may see him argue with Omondi. You may see him argue with Kibe. You may see him argue with so many people, and you wonder. Last time he was arguing with Wajakoya. I don't know how he's going to take this. I don't know if he's going to answer Wajakoya. You know, Wajakoya was questioning his degree in the first place, because we know that Jalango did not, before he joined the media, he did not go to college. But then we saw he graduated, I think it's from Daystar or something, with a degree. And Wajakoya was like, you must verify this. Is it really that you went to school? So we don't know if he's going to answer that. Maybe if he'll step on this video and he's going to answer this, we shall get back to you and let you know how he responded. And we of course believe that at the end of the day, they are not going to show off. because they have been known by showing off, especially the musicians. You find them saying, I have a lot of money, and now that Bahati is in this position, he's going to even have more money. And we don't want to hear that I have more money, I have many cars, because I think money is silent. Wealth is silent. So when you speak, we just understand that maybe you're just trying to show something of. So if you stumble on this video, please drop us a comment. Let us know how you feel about all this. So they have been given a chance. Let's see how they are going to deliver. Okay, so we've had. I want us just to speak of the gubernatorial seats that have been suspended. We shall not go for. I think this will also apply. The same ideas will also apply to Pokot South and the places that have been cancelled. But I want us to talk of Kakamega County and Mombasa County, where the gubernatorial seat has been suspended. One, the reason that the IEBC is giving is that we've had wrong details that have been printed. So, okay, it leaves us with a lot of questions, and maybe also to the public, it leaves a lot of questions because we've seen these are strongholds for Azimio. And the people from Azimio were saying, is this intentional? So I don't know. First of all, why do you think that this is happening? Do you think that it is intentional that this has been suspended? Maybe we start from Harrison.
Okay, for me.
Yes.
IBC, before they carry out elections, they prepare for more than 5 years.
Yes.
Before they do an election. Before they print those papers, the pictures of the aspirants, they take a lot of time. Yeah. So reaching the time of elections, telling Kenyans that the papers the ballots have some issues, wrong pictures and wrong what, that's not right. And if you look at the Kenyan politics, they're so expensive. In terms of printing the papers, like I was reading somewhere that every voter spends 2,500 on every ballot.
Yes.
And you have more than 22 million voters. That's a lot of money. So if you look at the people of Kakamega and Mombasa who didn't vote for the gubernatorial seat, a lot of money is lost from the ballot papers. So IBC, let me say, it's just something that is going on, but we can't judge. Maybe some errors occurred, but I'm not sure if errors can occur on the eve of elections, saying that people won't vote because of wrong information or something.
Sure.
If you look at India, they're spending less on elections, and they have more than 1.2 billion voters.
People, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and Kenya spends a lot, even more than India. So Kenyan politics, they need to change something.
Okay.
I feel like maybe, I don't know what to say.
We understand your feeling.
Yeah. Because even some people never went to vote.
Yes.
Because they were saying, why am I going to vote and I'm not going to vote in my governor? So like some of the Azimio votes, like they were not given in for the president, but I'm not that much political.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm an Azimio supporter.
Okay.
Yeah, but some of the Azimio supporters never saw the essence of going to vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Neville?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I will say that this is a very big challenge to the governors that have not been voted, because some of them actually won't get votes that they were to get because people may not again go to vote. They feel like the president that they wanted is a done deal, yet it's not the right thing, because the president won't come to the county unless the governor goes to the parliament or to the president. So it is also a challenge to the citizens, because we have to trust the IBC. Before they present to us the ballot papers, before they print, actually, they have to confirm.
Sure.
A draft has to come out, confirm from that draft, and verify that this is the right thing that you want.
Yes.
How comes that more than 800 ballot papers for Kakamega County were printed, more than 800,000 ballot papers for Kakamega County were printed without a verification being made on the first sheet?
Sure.
So it's something that we are squinting the revenue of the people of Kakamega and Mombasa, and maybe the other place that voting hasn't taken place. And IBC, I think they have to correct on that. Sometimes you say it's a mistake, an error that occurs, but with an election, it's something that's very sensitive because there's a 5-year lifetime for someone. So first of all, I'll say it has affected some people, some aspirants won't get votes they were to get. Others might gain an advantage because maybe the opponent supporters have backslided to go and vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's listen from Fabian.
Thank you. Yeah. I think the suspension of gubernatorial seat in Kakamega and Mombasa and some of the posts in those other counties will affect the aspirants. But concerning the IBC, at first, I thought it was some of their tricks, but how things are going with this election, I just think it is an error.
Okay.
So, what I just think, the aspirants are the one who are going to suffer because most people travel to come and vote. And when these people voted, they traveled back. So, you cannot tell a person that on this date you should come back again and vote. So, I think some of the votes in this county will not be there since most people will be back in their businesses and they'll not be able to set back a day again so they can vote in. But the issue, I just think it is an error. What I felt good is that the company which printed the papers said it will reprint the papers again at no cost. That's what making me feel good. We'll not spend more money again on reprinting these papers. But errors do occur. Let's wait for the date set, then we vote again for our governors.
Okay. Of course, the date has already been set. It's on 23rd of this month.
Yeah.
So we are expected to go and vote. But then, as we said, this is going to affect many. And I don't think if many of them will come to vote, because they will feel like, I think I'm wasting my time. Or maybe they'll not be given chances where they are studying to come and vote. So if you're watching us and you have a view about this, why, okay, in your own words, do you think that this suspension of the gubernatorial seats for Kakamega County and Mombasa County will affect the voting process? And so, of course, also it raises the question, why did they not confirm before printing? Because this is something that has to be thoroughly confirmed before printing. If you're printing something in bulk, then you need to confirm that what you're printing is right. So just waking up in the morning and being told that you're not going to vote for your governor because that the ballots have been printed wrongly, then that is something bad. And anyway, we shall wait because they have said they are going to correct that. But to some point, the votes are going to be affected. The number of people who are going to turn up is going to be very low because, of course, we already have low voter turnout in the entire country. So again, telling us to go back then, and we've had problems in Kakamega County up to a point that we've been allowed to use the manual register. So you see, the KIM, staff failed, and we were asked to use the manual register. And again, you're telling us now on 23rd, we need to go and face the same challenges. Somebody like me, I reached at my polling station at about 5:40. I found people, more than 200 people were already there. Then we lined up, and you see the machine started disturbing. I voted at about 9 a.m. So you can see from 5:40 to 9 a.m. That is a long time. So when you tell me to go back and I think of that, I may have a second thought that I will not go. for people like you, when you are at your polling station, one of the rooms did not operate up to, I think, 12. When
one. We
one.
started voting
In
at
fact,
one.
it was one when you were asked now to use the manual register. And this is Kakamega County, my friend. So you find that people will say, I won't go back because I can't stand to see again. I'm coming there at 5 a.m. Then I'm going to vote at 1 p.m. It is something that we just need to do that. And I know also in Mombasa, they have the same problems in Pokot. In fact, the areas from the northern Kenya part, we've had insecurity and all this. So maybe this will affect at a larger percentage, but we are here to wait. For me, I'll go back to vote, but I know that there are people who are not going back to vote. Maybe they have already traveled back to where they belong. What do you think? For those of you who are watching us, please drop us a comment. We need to hear from you. And so this has been a discussion. We've been here for over 1 hour, and we've just been talking about elections. We've tackled from different aspects, but then I want us to speak about the presidential elections. So if we look at the results right now, this station does not show. Let me look for a station that is showing a bit, so that we see where we are right now, and of course what we are looking at. Let me see this, so that we know. Of course, we've left when Raila Amolo Odinga is leading, and then the second comes His Excellency Dr. Ruto. So right now, according to NTV, we have Raila at 6.05 million votes, right? And then we have Ruto at 5.81 million. We have Wajakoya at 53,000. And then we have David Wahiga at 28,000. So we shall focus on the top two, that is Odinga and Ruto. So Odinga is at 6.05, and Ruto is at 5.81. Do you think that there is, okay, first of all, we said that this seems to be fair, or have we changed our minds? And also we said that all of us are not from one party, right? We have people from Azimio, we have people from Kenya Kwanza. So we are fair at this point. So we've seen Raila at 6.0 and Ruto at 5.8. What is your view on that? Let's start from from engineer. What's your view on that?
For me, it's a tough one. But from the results that we are seeing,
Yes.
Raila is leading, right?
Yes.
And as from the look of things, yesterday he was leading in the same manner.
Okay.
And the forms that were submitted were less than 30,000. But right now we are at about 43,000 forms, 34A submitted to the IEBC. So if you look at that, that gap is a longer one. And it will be a bit hard for the deputy president to maybe be on top again.
Yes.
Because the forms that are remaining are a bit lower. And if you look at, maybe if the forms that are remaining are from the Ruto's strongholds,
Yes.
we might say that Ruto might come and beat Raila Odinga. But as from now, if you look at Raila is at 50.66%,
Yes.
and Ruto is at 48.65. That's a longer range
Yes.
from the forms that are remaining. So I'll say that this one, I think it's gone. But I'm not saying that it's gone. Maybe Ruto might come back if the other forms are from the strongholds of Ruto.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my view about that.
All right. So as we speak right now, Raila Amolo Odinga is at 50.66%. That is 6.057 million votes. And then we have Ruto, who is at 48.65%. That is translating to 5.817 million votes. And then we have the total amount of votes that have already been counted is 11,956,898. And then we have 36,457 polling stations which have already been completed out of 46,229 polling stations. So we are speaking of about, is this 10? 9,000, about 9,000 polling stations remaining. So we don't know, are these polling stations to Azimio or Kenya Kwanza? That is what we don't know right now. But we see the gap is about 200,000. If you take okay, it's changing, 6.1 and then 5.8, that's about 200,000 votes, right? So we don't know if these 9,000 polling stations belong to Azimio or Kenya Kwanza. We don't know. But then, what's your view on that, Bwana Neville?
This is a real battle.
Yes.
So we are not aware of what's remaining. We don't know where it belongs. We don't know if it's 50-50. We don't know if it's 100, 0.
Yes.
We don't know. But with the progress, I think Dr. William Ruto will have to face some challenge unless the remaining polling station belongs to his zone or to his party. Yeah. But Mr. Aurelia Odinga should also be careful, because if those remaining polling stations belong to Dr. William Ruto, then he might beat him, because we are now talking of 11 million, let's say 11.9 million, and we still have like 2 points to reach 14 million.
Yes.
So that is something that if Dr. William Ruto takes over the 2 million, then Odinga will have faced a defeat.
Yes.
So it's something that we just have to keep up to date. We cannot predict actually what's going to happen, because the gap is very little, 200,000, when the zone is yours and you have like 1 million, 2 million voters, then you're good to go.
Yes.
And if the remaining zones, if maybe say 70% belong to Raila Odinga or 50% belong to Raila Odinga, then Ruto will have to face a defeat.
Yes.
So we cannot predict what is the outcome, but let's wait for the final result.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your view, Fabish?
Yeah, as you can see, the gap is reducing. So this is a real battle. Yeah. Raila Odinga should be very careful, because from yesterday, I saw he was above with more than 300,000 votes. But when I wake up in the morning, I found that Ruto was leading. So we don't know how it will go, but each of these two should be very careful with how this thing will go. I'm hoping this remaining 9,000 polling stations, each one of them has a say. So you cannot just say that the remaining 9,000 polling station will vote this or this. But what we hope to see is that the competition will go on. Then at the end of the day, the people's choice will be announced.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are
It's
going
tough.
well.
It's
It
tough.
is
We
tough.
must just agree. This
tough.
is tough. I don't know what you think, our viewer. So we just know that for one to win this presidential election is that they must have a 50% plus one, right?
Yeah.
And then they have to have valid votes cast from at least 25% from the 25% votes should be from the 24 counties. Of course, we have 47 counties, and so the 24 of them should at least have voted for him 25%. But at the moment, I don't think if any of these contestants has are reached that, especially on the 50+1%. And of course, if you check from Citizen TV, they're a bit ahead. So Raila is at 6.45, then Ruto is at 6.40. So you see the gap is a bit narrower when it comes to this. So this is the ones that we've been reading, the 6.0 and 5.8 are from the national.election.africa website, where they are just doing it direct from IEBC, and they are a bit behind, if we may say. Then from Citizen TV, they are a bit ahead. In the morning, they were saying they have less than 5,000 polling stations to complete. And so we see that gap is, if you look from this, it is about 50,000 votes. So you see the gap is even narrower. So finding and us discussing and telling who is going to win at this point is a bit tricky. So we just need to wait and see who will win. But all we hope is that whoever will fail will accept the failure, will concede that they have failed, and then give a chance for the one that has won to lead the nation, so that we have peace. And this other guy, of course, will be in the opposition, and then the country will run as normal. And so we just urge that everyone should remain to be peaceful. We've had issues of violence and that unrest. We find that people are impatient, people are pressurizing that they want to have the results. But we are failing to understand that IEBC have 7 days to make sure that this thing is right. So there's no need to hurry. We still have, this is day 3, so we don't really have to pressurize them. If we pressurize them, they are going to give us wrong results, which are going to lead to something else. So we've seen that the gap is growing narrower, and just as we've said, these candidates should just be careful. Raila should be careful, Ruto should be careful, because we don't know these remaining polling stations if they are belonging to Azimio or if they are belonging to Kenya Kwanza. But all we say that let the best candidate win. Let us not bleed for them to lead, because we really need our Kenya. As I usually say, we have one Kenya. We don't have Kenya B. We don't have Kenya C or D. We only have one Kenya, and we have one Kenyan. So we just need to be together, love each other. So, but the presidential elections and the votes, we really cannot determine who is going to lead. But we see somebody like Wajakoya. It is the first time that he's trying elections, politics that is, but he's good. 56,000. It's not badly off. I'm sure David Waiga has ever tried. So he has been in the politic world, and we see is trying. But again, we wonder how Wajakoya just came from nowhere and say that, we are going to vote for him, and he's got votes. So we don't know if these people are using the plant. They are calling it the international hub. International, I don't know. But again, he had some ideas that I think would have worked, only that then it would have destroyed the culture of the country to some point, because some people might have used it in the wrong way. But again, we know he's confirmed that he's affiliated to Azimio. So we were asking, maybe he will say, this is my votes, I don't have to. But is that possible, by the way? Is it possible that he can do that?
Yeah, it's possible.
It is.
I think it's possible.
Is it allowed by the law?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can reward someone that is before you, but
Yes.
we don't know with these 2022 elections. We don't know what rule has been passed
Yes.
to do with that. But some time back, I think there's something that's what that happened. It was like, if this guy is before me, then I will give him my votes. I think that's why he has been called a project to some extent, because what is a project? If you are running in a race with someone, then you bring in someone else whom you know will take votes from you and don't gain them back, you don't have to bring that person. But if you know that this person, if I bring him, he will take some from somewhere and give them to me, then I have to receive him. I think that is why he's been referred to as a project, which means that it's possible he might receive those votes from Raila Odinga might receive those votes from Wajakoya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It begs the question that I don't know how they will agree as a party, the Roots party, because the running mate, I think your microphone, I don't know, there's some ambience. Anyway, but then we know that the running mate for Wajakoya, Justina Wamae, is of Kenya Kwanza.
Yes.
She feels more Kenya Kwanza than Azimio. So I don't know where will they, who has the say? Is it Wajakoya or is it Wamae or it is the party? I don't know. I don't know how they will agree. In case we are just speculating, just in case, and if he gives this to to Azimio, we know that Kenya Kwanza will have lost, because I don't think if David is willing to give his votes. But again, what do you think will happen? Because these are people who have divided minds. One is for Kenya Kwanza, the other one is for Azimio. What will happen if they want to give this? Will they split in half?
Okay, what I think is, Wajakoya is just Wajakoya.
Yes.
And in a house, we have the husband and the wife. And normally we know that the husband is the head of the house.
Yes.
So the running mate to Wajakoya was to back up Wajakoya. And they might have some differences, but I think Wajakoya is a tough one. He's a tough one. You won't allow to sympathize or debate on whom to give or on how to share in those votes. He will take them all, according to my view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, let's hear from Harrison.
Who is the party leader of Roots Party?
It's Wajakoya.
So he has the decision. Whatever he wants to do with the votes, he'll do them.
Okay.
Then, yeah. Then Wajakoya is just a tough man and he makes his decisions the way he wants.
Okay.
But Justine was to back him up.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the role that she was to play in the party, to back him up. Whatever Wajakoya says, she has to follow that.
Okay. I'll come back to that anyway. Fabish?
I think Wajakoya will decide. He will not allow Justina to temper with his decision. If he decides that the 56,000 votes and above will go to Azimio, then that's the...
Your microphone has a problem. Okay.
If he decides that those votes he wants to give them to Azimio, then he will give them. Even in his speech, you can see that he has some dictatorship in his speech. So I don't think Justina can hinder him from doing what he wants with the votes.
Okay. All right, that is okay. But then this also begs the question that if these people are going to sell, let me use the term sell these votes, don't you think that they are selling their voters? Because somebody who was voting because he wanted Wajakoya and not Raila. So if they are selling, don't you think they are betraying their voters? Now, we have also mentioned that Wajakoya seems to be a dictator. He speaks with authority, and it's like he has the final say, all right? So don't you think that is a wrong motive? Don't you think that is something that we should discourage? I don't know. Do you think they'll be selling their voters or something? Or it won't bring any issue?
They want to be selling their voters.
Yeah.
They'll be selling their votes. If they wanted to sell their voters, they could have told them before the elections.
Yes.
But now that the votes have already been casted, they have, when they sell the votes, they just sell the votes. They don't sell the votes.
Now that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because if really they wanted to support Azimio, they would have told them earlier.
Yeah.
But then being given and then deciding to sell, I don't know if it adds up.
But you're not sure if they're going to sell.
We are just speculating. That's what I was saying. We are just speculating. We are not
So,
sure.
I don't. Hey,
It's sad.
it's sad.
Anyway, let's listen.
Let's wait and see what will happen.
What will happen, of
Yeah.
course. But we just need to speculate.
I think if they give their voters to Azimio, it is from the beginning. Wajakoya was like he can work with the Raila Odinga. Even when he went to Kisumu, yeah, he really respected the people of Kisumu and the profession or the image of Mr. Raila Odinga, and he actually humbled, which shows that he has respect for that guy. So some people love him because of his love towards Raila, maybe, and some people love him because of his manifesto and who he is. Now, giving these votes to Raila, I will say it's actually not selling the voters, but handing over his voters to maybe a safe hand where he sees that they can be safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's something like handing over to a safety where you know that they're safe.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say?
I think handing the votes to Raila will prove what he has always been saying, that even if you don't vote me in, you should vote in Raila.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's what he's planning. If he's not being elected, then they should elect Raila. And he always says that he respects Raila. So I think it is his decision. Since the votes have already been casted, it is him to decide on what he will do with them.
Okay. Okay. You wanted to add something? All right.
But this will depend with whether Raila will reach the 50 or be at 49.9 and the votes for Zakoya will make a change. That's when he can chip in. Or whether his opponent, the deputy president, will be above him. So that maybe Wajakoya wants Raila to win.
All right.
So it will also depend with what the total votes
Okay.
will look like.
So we shall be looking at the 50% plus one.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't add up and they are in talks, then he can decide to give her, right? Okay, that is just a speculation. We really do not know what is going to happen, but we're just trying to think if this happens, then what impact will it bring? And I don't know if that will be okay, but you can drop us a comment and let us know how you feel about this. We've really talked I think we've covered almost everything. And if you liked this live stream, you may want us to do another one, maybe after we've had the IEBC announcing these very results. So as we conclude, I would just like us to have the last words, what you want just to say to the Kenyans, and then we shall be finishing this. So I'll start from Neville.
Okay, thank you everyone. And what I'll just love to tell my fellow Kenyans is that Kenya is one. It's our only legal home that we have. No matter who wins, whoever wins, let's embrace him and let's just pray to God that he may lead the country in the way that God wants him to lead and do the will of the people. Because if he goes there and be violent to some maybe tribes, it will be something that will be very bad. And if we shed blood for someone else to gain power, it's something that is also bad because we are killing our own brother who has nothing to do with the one that's going to lead there. So you kill your own brother and still live in that mess forever. Let's keep peace and let's keep peace.
Okay, thank you. Harrison?
Kenyans, politics come and go, but our Kenya remains. If we spoil our country for just one day or 1 week and not speculate what is going to happen in future, we're not going to have a country anymore. We won't have anywhere to live in. So whoever wins, let them win.
Okay.
And these elections are just to give us leaders who are going to lead us.
Yes.
Whoever will win the elections, let them win, and let's maintain peace. Your neighbor that you're living with, your neighbor is the one who is going to come to your home at night to save you when you are sick or when you lack food. You won't see a politician come to your home giving you food or helping you go to hospital when you're sick at night. So let's keep our neighbors safe. Let's look at each other as brothers and sisters. Let's not fight for these politicians. They will be at home enjoying their life with their families when we are here fighting for them. Let's not fight for let's not fight for the politicians so that they can lead us. Let us think and let us know that this Kenya remains even after elections. And those politicians that we are fighting for, they won't come to help us like when we are starving or doing something. We just have to know that we are on our own.
Yes.
Yeah, we are on our own, and the politicians are on their own also. Let's not fight for them, and let's keep peace, and let peace prevail.
All right. Fabish?
Yeah, thank you. What I like to say is that politics is like a football game. You either win or lose. So what I urge Kenyans is that let's embrace how Lunyangapo said, put politics in lungs where you can excel it out.
Okay.
So let us not put politics in our heart. It may if your leader is not elected, just agree and go on with the one who is announced as the leader.
Yes.
So tusibleed ndio lead.
True.
Amen.
Tusibleed ndio wa lead. Thank you so much for watching our live stream. And I just want also to reiterate on what they have said. Let us preach peace, because that is what we want. We don't want a situation where we are bleeding for them to lead. We have one Kenya. We don't want to go and destroy it. We don't want to go and burn it. All we wish is that let the best candidate lead. Let the best candidate win. And once you have failed, if you're a candidate, it is up to you to just accept and let us move on. You may try in 2027, and maybe if we trust you, we can get you back to this politics. But again, let us spread peace. The peace that we are speaking about starts with us and ends with us. If we decide to, start peace with your neighbor, it will work. We don't want to have that politician come here and tell us what to do, because they will never fight on their own. But it is us, the normal Kenyans, who are going to fight. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, you already know what to do. Please hit that subscribe button and also boop that like button so that we can reach out to many more people. We shall have more of these live streams, and therefore we hope that we are going to see you in our next live stream. Otherwise, have a peaceful election. Let's wait and hear the presidential announcement of the results, and we hope that it's going to be just fine. Thank you so very much, and have peace. 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 All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. We are done.
Ndio